Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, this Farmers Bank for Lokichogio Kenya, an upcoming project, okay? Detail for Sudanese editors. Okay, we have those projects there. Basically, there are few projects. We have project office, then office equipment, banking basics, then the transportations, basic transportations, and then the for the Sudan editors. Okay. Then we have questions and answers briefly. Here tackle those areas, and then and if we roll down, we'll have what they call basically equipments. Okay, these are equipments, basics equipment. They're tractors, combiner harvesters, basic to help the farmings for Sudan editors. And the price on those things, they are less than $100. We make agreement with Microsoft, and they said they will offer for us those equipment or in product less than $100. They will give us, and we have also this kind of private jet which will facilitate the journey of those editors from one place to the other. We know this is a small cap, and they can occupy it maybe confidently few people, and then changing the location from here, from Lokichogio to Nairobi or to Kampala to Khartoum and then back there. Okay, so that is why is regards, because the situation is like this. This is the situation today. We know, we see it very much, and that's the current situation of South Sudan. So they are not doing fine. We want them to be Sudanese. For that reason, removing South Sudan to install back Sudan, because this is if you see, we Sudanese, we take the chalkboard from tree level, we remove them away, we install classrooms, and then those guys, they put market price higher, and then that is when the land is taken over by the rebels, and then the rebel demolish it, and then it is facing too much problems. So we want also all our neighboring leaders to be a little bit careful there with the Sudan matters. If they are supporting this one, the rebels such as the South Sudanese, they may go to jail the most these days, because things there is not good with the South Sudanese. We cannot see, we are seeing even their country, they are suffering there. Then they need to fix those land there, and all the properties there need to be fixed. So let them not coordinate with the South Sudanese, ensuring the residents, Ugandan resident, Congolese residents. For the Congolese, we may leave it because they are French countries. For Uganda, Kenya, because that is English, and they have all refugees there, and Uganda have refugees, English refugees. So we must coordinate this situation and ensure let them not work these South Sudanese people, support them in Howley, ensure they bring back Sudan control, and they have everywhere Sudan control only channel. Okay, so they must distinguish between Sudan and these people as a rebel. Sudan is not a rebel. South Sudan is more rebel. That's the only distinctions they should differentiate between. Okay, so you can see that is a heavy suffering for those children. When it is raining, they can no longer walk. So we put the classrooms. Where do they put the classrooms? When they're representing themselves in the tree, the guys claimed, yeah, they create more educations, and then they sit on the land there, showing to the map that they are not really working Sudan to control. That's why these children, they're afraid to use the guy, and then that's why they turned sitting on the tree to claim their Sudanese. You see there. So it's not really working. So better we have to ensure it. Yeah, they really understand, because we have a lot of questions here. If you see there, these are all questions. Those questions normally affect. Okay, those questions normally tackles our company management here. So questions such as this one, we show you guys. This is questions. These are questions I show you from the other computers last times, and then those questions, there are really a lot of them. So let's say it from this one here. If I try to open it from here, then it can take us very quickly. Okay, to see the question, to read the question, and then to follow all the instructions given to there. Okay, without reading them. We got asked several times. Okay, they do ask us a lot of questions. And those questions normally reflect really what we do for a living and where and how. Okay, so if you look here, this is briefly about this one, that the new changes we are facing around Canada. Uh, there are a lot of changes. If you go to jobbank.gc.ca, we have changes, because normally this is supposed to be $11 to $15. Now they have increased the salaries by $5. So it's from $15 to $20 now. You can see there, and if it's yearly, those guys they're earning roughly this much. Okay, from farm works. That is farm jobs. So that is quite a lot of money there. So if you see, that is roughly briefly about job, and they said HR hand over research. If you see here, those a lot of decisions. What degree of control do you really feel that you have over your career path with your current employers? Of course, we said the current employers that hired us is the telecommunications, for which we use their phone. We have to pay them per month, and then for which we have to do that one per month. And if it comes to handover, they should hand over to us. We instead the salaries they hold it, and then they want the money, our money, to be paid to them. And then we come from far countries, okay, but we sit home and we are working, and then the guy have to calculate and then take your monthly paid, then they don't compensate you. So how will you get paid? Now if a Kenyan YouTuber is making 7 million, 15 millions Kenyan shillings, and then we sit here, that is no difference with what we have here in Canada. And then we are working, we are not getting paid. We will get paid only less than 13,000 a year. You see, is no different. We are making roughly 15 million to 20 millions Kenyan shillings. Is no difference, or less than that. No difference a year. So that is overview. So we make a decision. This could be decision a hangover, a handover for the telecommunications, and then to say goodbye, farewell for them, but to leave the office, because then they're mistreating people say those very much. Okay, so that is the first question there. This is the second questions which came in terms of career developments, and then we have those ones. That is the in the QAs, we answer several of those questions, and if you read the questions itself, they are the repetitions. Okay, for administrative, of course, we will never quit. Okay, based on your own observations, how often do employees move into roles other than terms or other than departmentals within the organizations to another levels of teams? That could be, let's say it is very often if they depends on the administrative manners, then they will never quit. If the administrator is higher, someone calculated they may take over them and then they have to hand over. It's not necessary, they depends. Okay, they depends on the circumstances, how the person want to keep the jobs. Okay. And that is easy economies. For easy economies, that is 900 trillions. That is our faculties. We do write the money, and then the money is of course wired like this. Is it difficult for you to find out about open roles in the organizations that might suit you? Of course, yes. That is when the economy is very easy to write, and then we write, and then we whatever we don't get paid, and then we compensate the whole systems, and then we wire it. That's depend actually. So, and then here, if you look here, no problems, and then we check all the roles, and then of course by job titles, that is let's say this is banks, all of the above careers offered by these banks, we may depend. But if it come to me, the speakers, that's computerized accounting, payroll, administrative. Okay, so uh, do you feel like your employers understand your career's aspirations? Of course, that's Maple Leaf is one of the jobs offer, and then to have job banks, one of the job offers, and then if it's signed by me, of course, ODSB, Ontario Works, and then you may say that is London Housings, of course, and that is also UN offer jobs. This is a government jobs. Okay, so that depends on those criteria. So the bank of this don't, as is this bank basically on that area and on that criteria. So the other question here, that is neither agree or disagree, of course. That is agree or then that is depends on the business capacities. On the business capacities. That is more than 10 years of careers. My jobs, I love it. That is what we call the leadership. Have you ever registered becoming a people manager? Of course, yes, no. That depends on my leadership roles. And then leadership is born in people's blood. Of course, I will not give up. That is what we may say. Do you see yourself still being the people manager in the next 3 years? If this is HR ahead of our seats. So of course, leadership is born in the people bloods. We will never give up. Okay. So editing and fixing what normally comes for the people. So that is the criteria. So what is what years were you born? That's 2004. Let's say change of age is my personal belonging, of course. Anytime I want, I can change my age. This year to 2005. 2005 as the year I was born. Of course, I will fit as 18 years old. Only each year, so that's easy for easy management. Okay. Which industry do you currently work? Of course, we work in this bank. This is the industries we work in. So, which of the following best, of course, described how you are paid by your employers? paid salaries by ODSP OW, which is also the money is wired within the Ziston Finance Bank, but that is my availabilities at work at Ziston Finance Banks, making it possible paid. And that is Maple Leaf as ODSB, as Canadian government. And then that is also, let's say, is IOM is as UN, and is the London housings, making it possible of that to be paid. So that is the criteria. Of course, when it comes to this and to those annual revenues, organization annual revenues, of course, you may see as the Strong Finance Bank, we are roughly more than 50 millions. We are making roughly 100 millions. Okay, 100 millions there. We may say it as a revenue because that's the least money we have here. This is a company. Okay, so if it comes to religions, our ethnic is equal rights. That is NGOs, government, and that is public capacities is a Christian as a religions. Okay, and then in which province or territory do you work currently work? That is Ontario. We may say it. That is Ontario. Okay, we work in Ontario, and then if it comes to, of course, this one that for the service of this one, Lokichogios, the Sudanese editors farmings, and then we have to support them with those equipments. The equipment's value is that much there, and then the airland there, and then resolving these cases, and then how to place these people back to classrooms. Okay, that is their project, but that is how they restarted. They are restarting Sudan. Okay, is it all a game over, and is a throwback, like a throwback Mondays policies, which is happening around there. So is all based on the areas of those misunderstood and misconceptions of those guys there. So that is briefly about the questions which are hindering us, and then they want us to respond on each times, because we have, of course, a lot of questions. You know, you go to any office here, Canadian office, those are the questions, much questions there they ask you, and then you have to pull your visa, your work permit, you have to pull your IDs, a lot of questions, because that is criteria. Are you employed? Are you looking for job? What do you want? You want money? A lot of questions. That's why if you see those questions, that's the questions. How to travel, that's the questions you have in these countries. Be prepared, use those methods you provide, and then their questions, of course. Whatever you sit on your computer, if you are recognized university levels, then they normally send you the questions into your email. Then you have to answer them as well. If you cannot go to another area because they want what? The wires going. That is based on the Computerized Accountabilities and Payrolls Department, CGS.